What if Mikasa arrived just 20 minutes later? What if the one person who always saved Eren couldn't? This is Attack on Titan, What If? Today we explore the timeline where Annie Leonhart successfully captured Eren in the forest of giant trees and delivered him to the gates of Marley, where Season 1's most irrational, hatred-fueled Eren meets the very people who took his freedom, and where one loss will change everything. Let's rewind to that moment in the forest of giant trees. In the original timeline, Mikasa intervened just as Annie was about to escape with Eren's unconscious body. She held her long enough for Captain Levi to arrive. Together, they pulled Eren back from the edge, but this time, there is no one to stop the female Titan. Annie reaches the coast before the scouts can organize. The female Titan moves fast, moving across open land like a ghost, and by the time Erwin gives the order to pursue, she's already gone. Eren Yeager, the boy who swore to kill every last Titan, is now being carried toward the very nation that created them. And that's where it begins, the timeline where everything goes wrong. Eren's capture becomes a ticking time bomb that will change everything. He isn't Season 4 Eren. He isn't the calculating, world-weary veteran who saw the future. He isn't the man with the plan. He is Season 1 Eren, the one who had promised to slaughter every single Titan and get back his freedom. He opens his eyes, stone ceiling, iron chains, the smell of salt, and something he doesn't recognize, ocean air. He is outside the walls. For just a moment, he almost feels it. That old dream, the one that kept him running when everything else was burning, the freedom beyond the walls. But then the memory hits him. Petra, Oluo, Eld, Gunther, dead. Because he listened. Because he didn't fight. If only he had moved sooner. If only he had transformed. But now, there's no if. Only consequences. The moment ends, the dream dies. All that's left is the chains around his wrists and the rage building behind his eyes. Season 1 Eren behaves in Marley exactly how you'd expect. Screaming, shouting, promising to commit a one-man genocide against every person in a tan uniform. The Marleyan brass quickly realize something. He cannot be controlled. He cannot be turned. He isn't a soldier. He isn't a weapon. He is a liability they cannot afford. So they make a decision, a final one. Eren Yeager has to die, fed to a Laurel warrior who understands Marley's vision. The best candidate? Porco Galliard, Marcel's brother, the man who was passed over for the armored Titan, the man who has spent years swallowing that humiliation. And what about Zeke, Eren's half-brother, the Beast Titan, the man who has spent his entire life pretending to be Marley's perfect Eldian soldier? When Annie's report arrives, he realizes who Darren is. He stands outside the cell door. He doesn't go in. He considers breaking Eren out, running and starting over. In the original timeline, Grisha killed the Rice family because a future Eren pushed him to. But that future Eren doesn't exist yet, so Grisha hesitated, and Frida Rice lives. Eren does not have the coordinate here. He is volatile, full of hate. Even if Zeke saved him, would Eren cooperate with his euthanasia plan? The answer comes quickly. He makes his choice, not as a brother, but as the savior of the world. He walks away from the door. He lets his brother die. They drag him into the room. Eren doesn't fight anymore. Not because he's given up, but because he's saving every last ounce of defiance for what he knows is coming. He looks at Porco Galliard. He looks at the Titan form waiting to emerge. And Eren Yeager, chained, broken, alone at the edge of the world, does the only thing he knows how to do. He glares at them like they're already dead. He doesn't cry. He doesn't beg. He doesn't flinch. When the jaws close around him, his last thought isn't fear. It isn't regret. It's rage. Rage that he never got to see it. The ocean, the world beyond the walls, the freedom he'd been denied. And just like that, Eren Yeager dies. The Attack Titan gets a new host. And the boy who dreamed of freedom dies in chains. Paradis doesn't know the last hope for humanity is already dead. All they know is that Eren is gone. And for Commander Erwin Smith, there's only one place to start looking for answers. Shiganshina, Grisha Yeager's basement. And in this timeline, discovering that secret becomes their only hope. The Survey Corps launches an expedition, not to plug Wall Maria, but to reach the basement. Erwin suspects the truth is buried there, and it is. They arrive earlier than in the other timeline. The books are right where Grisha left them. The journals, the photographs, the royal family, Ymir, the truth. Humanity isn't extinct. There's a whole world beyond the walls, and it hates them. The revelation breaks something in all of them. Everything they were taught, Everything they fought for was a lie. The Titans aren't humanity's greatest enemy. Humanity is. But without Eren, without the founding Titan, they have nothing, unless they find the royal family and force them to act. For now, the scouts have a more immediate problem. They know Eren is in Marley, and despite everything, they have to try to get him back. Without him, Paradis has no way to defend itself. So Erwin makes a desperate decision. Infiltrate Marley and rescue Eren, or prepare for extinction. Erwin mobilizes the Corps. They travel to Marley, unaware they're walking into a trap. Annie, now a hero of Marley for capturing the attack Titan, warns her superiors that Paradis will come for Eren. The Marleyan generals set a trap. They spread false intelligence that Eren is being held at their main headquarters. Even with Erwin Smith, the smartest tactician, the Survey Corps are still inexperienced in covert operations. They take the bait. They attack Marley Army HQ, only to find no sign of Eren. The scouts realize they've been ambushed. They begin to fight back. And then, Porco Galliard steps forward. He bites his hand and transforms into something the scouts never saw coming. The attack Titan. But it's not Eren's. And they understand immediately what happened. Eren is gone. Not captured, not waiting, not coming back, just gone. Armin screams, and something breaks inside Mikasa. She doesn't move. Her mind can't understand what she's seeing. The boy she swore to protect, the reason she kept fighting, is gone. And all that's left is the monster who ate him. And then she remembers the scarf, the promise, the boy who saved her. And something inside her snaps. Her eyes go cold, then filled with rage. This is the moment everything changes. Mikasa Ackerman has always been defined by one person. And now, seeing his Titan in the hands of a stranger, all strategy and reason evaporate. She charges alone. She doesn't think, she doesn't plan, she doesn't breathe, she moves. She screams. Not words, just pain. Blades flying.